Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain back for some more Dungeons and Dragons Online. So again, today we're joined with Zebub, and again we're here in the harbor, continuing off our Lords of Dust chain. Now, I mean technically this part isn't part of the chain itself, but it is still part of the requirements in order to get to Evening Star. So I personally, I call it part of the chain because it's just the next one in the link in order to get there. Now, in order to actually get there, you do need to first have completed the 3 quests: Lords of Dust, Servants of the Overlord, and then Spinner of Shadows. Once you've completed those 3, you can actually select the Spinner's Prison here, and select the Go to the Demon Web entrance, which is the Menace of the Underdark expansion. Kind of a little misleading, as you don't actually require the Menace of the Underdark expansion to enter here. You did require it when it first came out, but at this point it is no longer a requirement, as they wanted to have a free way to access these quests. So once we're done here, you do want to talk to the gatekeeper, and you will get the quest Beyond the Rift. The quest itself is right up here through the Demon Web. Now I do want to point out, in this public area you cannot jump off or fall off the edge. However, in the quest you can. If you fall off in the quest, what it'll do is it'll either port you to the beginning of the quest, which really sucks, or it will port you to a specific, kind of like a waypoint. Alright. So here we are. Now, the first part of this quest here, it's going to kind of basically show us getting attacked by a Bebelith. Now, if you've noticed from before, these guys are a lot more common now. However, the first time we were here, this is the first time you'd meet him. So just going to kind of walk out here. Then we're going to see this strange mage basically insta-kill it. And yeah, from here we're going to head up and talk to Elminster. Who is then going to go on a giant tirade speech. And yeah, so you gotta wait until you can actually talk to him. And you ask him to lead the way. And off we go. Now, you can, once you talk to him, kind of jump past some of this stuff here. So he's gonna head up here. He's gonna eventually drop this barrier. Now, you can, again, hop around getting up top there. But until he finishes his conversation here, jumping around will actually not help you at all. So here we are. Again, he's going to talk. And again, you can hop off here, heading down there, which is where we need to progress. But until he gets here and opens the door, it doesn't actually spawn in all the enemies. There's very little point to trying to jump ahead and complete faster.
This rift and that war are bound together in her plan.
Alright.
So are you, I suspect. Hark, I sense that she has dropped her guard again. Occupied with her sister, most like. I must leave while I can.
So here we are.
Evening Star. I will meet you there.
Dropping the barrier.
Journey, but you seem to be accustomed to.
And we're going to get started here. Now, there are going to be a lot of dretches in this area. And in this area, you'll also notice you do additional elemental damage. Now, dretches are unfortunately immune to a lot of it. Force, however, not as many things are immune to force, so you still do a fairly decent amount of force damage, which is really, really nice. And essentially you just want to keep fighting these guys until you feed off the first, basically this first major wave. Now, once they are all defeated, your door will go down there. As well, around the corner here, we do have some breakables that we can get. So they're just looking like egg sacs. Now, if you want to get the full breakable bonus, you do got to grab all the breakables that you can, as you almost need the full amount. So once you grab those, you do want to head through our door here to the south and just continue up our path. Now, as you can see, it is kind of a ruinous, decrepit, like out of the some sort of fantasy, just pieces of world all over the place. So it can be hard to follow, but essentially you just want to look at your map and look at what area you have to go yet and keep going. So while you're running, you also notice every now and then you will see the Spinner of Shadows as she's progressing through. And again, you don't actually have to stop and look at her. You can just keep pushing. So once we get to this section, we are going to have some spiders here. As you can see, a fair amount of them. Luckily for us, electricity does work on these. So with our AoE damage here, we should be able to make short work of all these spiders. There we go. Now at this point, you can actually head off to the left, and here we have a little ramp leading down, which can sometimes contain an optional boss. Obviously optional, you don't necessarily have to come down here, but just in case. From there, once you're done, or if you didn't spawn, or even if you're not interested, you want to just head up the stairs and out here. Now you're going to proceed all the way up. Again, seeing some dretch. Alright, so now here, as you can see, we do have a path there. That'll just lead us backwards. What we do want to do is head up and around here, and then across the bridge. When we do, you will notice we have a few spiders down there. They're not actually, at this point, a targetable enemy. Just give Zeep up here a top up. Or he can top up the Mind Flayer, which was just summoned. There we go. And then we're going to head down. As we get to the bottom, they do become targetable. And basically it was to illuminate that everything here is food for something else. Killing them will open up our wall. Now, once we get to this point, it does branch off two directions again. Off to the left, we have breakables and a bunch more of these little spiders that we can kill, which will definitely helps getting that full conquest. And again, we have breakables back here. There we go. Once you have that, you're going to want to head up the web here. And again, two directions. Off to the left, we have a set of bones, and we'll lead you up top here, which again can possibly have named enemies spawning in. If you choose to come up here, you would next want to just jump down here to the spider's web, or if you were down here, you could have just walked across and straight across here. Now you can head down here as well, and again, sometimes a named enemy will spawn right here as well. So again, if you are looking for those optionals for that little bit of extra XP, that is where you can find them. So once you've done that, you do want to head across this giant web. And here you will see again the Spinner of Shadows. And just continue on. Now at this point, it's going to start breaking off a lot more. It also provides us with our first shrine, which is the first time originally that they had actually changed the looks of the shrines, but because we've been to Evening Star, we've already got to see how they look here. So what they've been doing is each main area, Evening Star, Ravenloft, that like, they bring out their own shrines. So just a little extra pizzazz on that stuff. Now once you're done, or if you're just running past, you do want to continue heading, and you want to head down, and you're going to come to an empty spider hatchery, though there is a few breakables, which as you see jumps us up to Vandal right away, and we can continue into almost like a maze here. Now there are a whole bunch of webs all interconnected, so it really doesn't matter which path you take. I choose to head off to the south, as I can kill these dretch here and grab the breakables over there. On top of these guys here, just to my right, you'll see them coming in. Once they are defeated, we can continue off kind of southwest here and grab the last few breakables here. Except they didn't want to break, as it now gives us ransacked. So this is another one of those areas where as we progress through, it will actually lessen the amount that we have. So you do just gotta watch out for that, as you may look and, oh, we have ransack now, but as we approach the end, you may no longer have ransack. Alright, so killing the spiders, now heading north. We can actually head all the way up top to this tall one here, and there are just a few more breakables that just really help you, except my fireball's just going through them. Alright, now once you've done that part, you want to actually head down to this kind of spire, where it connects to the shrines, and you want to actually head off to the northwest. Now as you see, there are a whole bunch of dretch just heading down the path towards us. That lets you know that yes, you are on the correct path here. Obviously, if somebody's already been here, you won't have the dretch. But if you're looking at the shrines in this pyre, it'll be slightly to the left, just across this one here, between the giant spider legs, kind of husks. From here, you do need to head up. Now again, it doesn't matter whether you choose right, because that's a dead end. So you can see these guys, again, left, dead end. You need to head towards the door here. Now, what's going to happen is after they're done their conversation, Lolth is going to basically absorb the Spinner of Shadows into her. At which point it's going to drop down this door, and it's going to spawn a fight both here and a group of spiders behind us here. So definitely prepare for being sieged on two fronts. Now again, I typically point to this one here and kind of get my turret up and running. That causes a nice distraction. And then I can actually head back here. So there's a beautiful shuttle wall there. Kind of head back here, waiting for these guys to spawn in. Search our Dragoloth. Spawning in the guys, and here's our spiders. I will quickly take out these spiders, which as you see drops our alert level. After which I will just open up on the remaining enemies here, including on the Dretch himself. And as you can see, he is actually stuck right now, which is awesome. Normally he will just be rushing right at you. There we go. Now once he and all the trash die, it will actually let you progress. So definitely got to make sure that you kill everything and not just the Dretch. Alright, so once they're all dead, it will give you the option for the Dragoloth defeated. And this is the barrier that it will drop, allowing you to actually grab your loot here, just like a giant spider egg. Nothing named, don't worry. And then you can shrine, rebuff, and continue on. Alright. So here we are. Now, once you change through this portal, this section, as you'll notice, oh, we're still at Ransack. That's actually kind of odd. Oh, there we go. So, yeah. Moving forward a little bit, it drops our Ransack. As you notice, we no longer have it at all. So, you definitely got to watch out for that. So, heading north now, we are going to run into random groups of spiders. Now, these ones aren't as bad as some of the other, as they don't have the same reflex saves, so you can still blast them with a lot of AoE type spells or the like. Now they are spiders, they do still have reflex, though it is lower than a lot of the other types of spiders. From here, it kind of gives you two options. You can head off to the right, which ultimately just circles back around, or heading deeper in, which is where you need to be. Sorry, it was the left that circles around, kind of just leading back here. Alright, so we do need to head off to the east. Now again, heading east, the whole thing is littered with spider webs, so you can kind of guess what you're up against. Now again, it kind of brings a split. You can head right up the ramp or left to the bottom. You do need to head up the ramp here, and as you're heading up, you will notice a couple of earth elementals along the side. And that's kind of our enemy here. Nothing major. There are more of them down there if you choose to head that way, but as that is completely not needed and not even included in extra experience, it's really not worth it, other than getting additional kills towards your conquest. Now, you want to continue right across all the Earth LEs here. You're going to want to continue heading north, right up until you find this lone little Earth Ellie. Now, I mean, technically he's not lone, but he's the only one standing up. Now, as you approach, you are going to have a bunch of these Earth Ellies stand up, and you can go ahead and fight them. Upon their death, it's going to bring in a bunch of spiders, as essentially they hurt the battle. So just prepare for a secondary fight as soon as this one's over. So here we go. Seems Zebub had headed down and not up the ramp there, which is where our additional alert had come from. So I'm just going to head back down here. Alright. So at this point, once you've defeated this colony right here, you can actually head north. Now you'll notice we did get an optional defeat to the Demon Web Terror. That does mean the optional is up here. However, it is not guaranteed to be up. So you do just need to watch yourself. And deal with him here. If he is not up, don't fret, he actually has another 2 spawn locations that he can potentially spawn in. Alright, so as you can see, got a fairly large hit point pool. $24,000, so it can take a little bit of time to actually narrow it down enough. But ultimately, the spider itself, as you see, 0 miss, save, 4 damage. It really isn't all that impressive, even at this level range. Once it dies, you are awarded a little bit of experience and a chest. Again, nothing really special comes out of here, so you don't need to worry about that. Once you've done that, or if it's not spawned in, you're going to want to just continue heading west here. And you're going to want to head around to the north. Even if you head around that way, it still leads you here. And you're going to come across kind of one final group of spiders here for the moment. Alright, so we're just working on them there. That's part of the problem there. We get one thing at a time. Alright, once they're all dead, you want to head north. And it's going to take you around a pillar here. And towards the shrines. Now, this shrine's here. Oh, I thought there was a spider. At the shrines here, just past, you're actually going to start running into spell wards. Now with these spell wards, you do want to disable them from a fairly far distance away, as they do have a large hit box. If you are too close, it may actually state that they are blocked. So if you ever get that blocked message, chances are you're actually just too close and inside its radius, so just back up a little. Now at this point, we're going to head deeper in. We're going to come across a small little bit of water and a couple of groups of drow. Now that the drow are taken care of, over here where this astral harrower is, lagging so you get a nice long look, this is another location to where that Mother of Eyes spider can spawn in. Now this is probably one of the better locations, as even with the enemies that it spawns with, they are stuck over here and can't really attack. So you're kind of safe from all types of melee damage. You just got a little bit of range, which is very minimal from the spiders here. Once you're done, if that spider rare hadn't spawned there, just continue on, and you're going to want to actually head up these ramps to the back. Now on the other side of this ramp, we do have some breakables, so I am going to grab them. As you'll see, are still here. But more importantly, now that we're back to Mischief, you didn't actually hear any sounds from getting to that point. That is because we've already heard and queued those sounds. So it does become difficult as you can't listen for those sound cues. So just be careful, especially if you are going for ransack. A few more breakables here, and then we're going to proceed towards the portal. And again, a couple more portals. So you'll see here, we're blocked. It's because we're too close. If we back up, we can grab that there. So you'll see just how far away you can disable them. And then head through the portal. So at this point, a shortcut that a lot of people like to use is if you have the jump or enough jump, you can actually jump across to here. If, however, you do not and you fall, there's just a bunch of earth elementals in here. So Z-Bub wasn't able to make it, so we'll hop down here. So we got a bunch of earth elementals. Actually, a whole lot of earth elementals. So, you know, if one person falls, it's kind of good to just go as a group, waiting for everybody there, and just dealing with them as there are more deeper in. So you'll see that we had gotten a larger alert. There's some there. There's more there. So with those enemies there, as you approach this portal section, it's going to spawn in these armors, but it will spawn them over at the bottom of the ramp on the other side of that spell ward. Now that ramp is the same one where is if you had jumped and made the jump, that's where it would come down to. Obviously we didn't make the jump, so we're going to need to grab that spell ward. And we're going to continue. So this is the ramp. Here's where those armors spawned in. Now heading up the ramp here, we are going to have a set of shrines on our left with some breakables. Now here's something interesting that a lot of people don't know and don't actually realize. So one, you're going to have a spawn of armors in here. A lot of people do realize this because this happens every time. But as you actually approach the shrines, there is a spell ward. Again, a lot of people are aware of the spell ward. When the spell ward spawns in, it is also going to spawn in some enemies. So here we go. Or it should. There we go. There they are. Now, these enemies, if we were to disable the spell ward before killing them, they actually are going to despawn. And it's just these 4, not the other ones back there. So it actually gets rid of them. The other bit is, if you disable it before, they will never have spawned in the first place. So it's a nice little way to get rid of them, or skip them if you need and so choose. Alright, now once we're done that, we do want to head off to the east, and we're going to head up the ramp. Now, the direction in order to continue the quest is off to the left through those spiders there. However, if we hug the right wall going south, it's going to lead us down and around to this section. Now, this section here does have our last couple of spell wards that we will need in order to get our full trap bonus. So right now it brought us to neutralization. There's a few more later on, but those, if we hadn't gotten those 2 traps there, that neutralization would not go to Ingenious. Rather, we would end the quest with just neutralization. Alright, so heading north, you'll see a bunch of spiders here. This is actually the last place that optional spider can spawn in. So it has a total of 3 locations. And again, a few extra kills if you're looking to get Conquest. If, however, you're not looking to get Conquest and you already have the spider defeated, all you need to do is stop at these 2 traps, and you'll be able to get the full Ingenious debilitation bonus here. So now that we got that, we need to backtrack, and we need to head north through these guys here. Once these spiders are defeated, our gate goes down, and again we can head towards our gate. Now, at this point, if we just charge in behind them, as you see, we can't actually target them. There are going to be a few traps right here, so we can grab the traps. Here's one, there's another one down there, but at this point everyone becomes an active enemy that we can target and kill. Now, heading in, as you'll notice with Zebub there, it will start the fight, and the like. If, however, you don't rush in, you will be able to fight everyone except for the named enemy. So they all become active, but our wizard here does not. This will allow you to kill off the trash before going in to finish off what was just going to be the end wizard. Now, he's honestly not too tough to deal with, but it's just one less enemy, and spellcasters are just a pain in the butt to deal with. As well, you'll notice this does have a fairly large hit point pool, having 9,000 opposed to, 1,800 here. Alright, so now that it's just him, you can just focus him down, dealing mass amounts of damage. Alright, so the next thing here, now that we're approaching everything here, we do have another trap. Around the corner, we're going to have a final trap. And behind here, again, some more breakables. So after the breakables here, alright, so after the breakables, you just want to finish heading up to the very top, and which you can grab your loot. Now, once you're done, you can prepare for a fight on the other side of that portal. I personally, there's a spot I really enjoy, and it does require you to have a fairly good jump. Now this spot, you can be hit, but you cannot be meleeed, and it is a nice little bit. So what you want to do for this little kind of cheaty spot is you're going to head through the portal. Now here's all the enemies that we need to fight, and you can actually get right up on top of that spire right there. Now in order to do so, you're going to need to just head on in and hop up here. So there you go. They can get and shoot you with their ranged attack. The boss, however, does not actually have a ranged attack, choosing just to use melee, making this quite easy to, you know, sit in one spot and deal out tons and tons of damage. Again, if you are spell or like an artifice, or even a ranger like Zebub is there. So there we are. I was able to pull off the aggro a little bit. So as you'll see, they just kind of stand there, allowing you to just dish out some massive damage. So yeah, Zebub tried there right at the beginning, was not actually able to get up here. It does require a very good jump, and even when you have a high enough jump, it's just a very particular spot you gotta land on. I've just had lots of practice. And yeah, then you just want to blast on here, take them out. Once everyone is dead, you'll be able to head over to our gate, use the lever to free them, and then simply talk to Anna here, and that'll complete the quest. As you see, another 40,000 experience, this one taking a little bit longer with 35 minutes, and again providing an end chest here. Now you can obviously speed up this quest a bit. There were a few parts where obviously I did stop to explain. Once you're done, you're just going to want to head through right here, and it'll take you into the Evening Star Cavern, and then into the village here. So it really is a nice bit here. And this is the other way to actually arrive at Evening Star. Now once you're done, this is where a lot of people don't realize, but right in the center of town, this is actually where you turn in your quest. So you'll notice on our map, it doesn't actually have an objective arrow pointing that way. It just has these two here, which are duplicates to talk to Elminster. Now if you head to the center of town here, you will see him standing here with a check mark and kind of an arrow. Talking to him will complete that quest and give you some end reward here. At which, as you notice, it spit out a whole bunch of other ones, just kind of give you a little bit of extra information on what you can do out here in Evening Star. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a blast, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one all.